Why?
Well, I don't know. It's probably semantics, actually. So it's just, I refer to the business discipline of the business management and business affairs and everything. So it's probably more, the,
Okay. There
there's
is
a,
no other content or other
no,
ideas behind that, just to. And discipline means you stick to efficient processes, of efficient operations, something like that.
yeah, at least understand them and employ them. Because at the Waldorf school I operated, they didn't understand the disciplines and did not employ the disciplines, and so it was just
They were wasting money, or they were
sure,
wasting resources.
sure.
Yeah.
And so they basically had an entity that was so desirable to all the parents that wanted to send their children there, but of course parents had to invest in the school, knowing or hoping that the school would be there for the 8 years of an education, because nobody wants to have to change schools if they perceive a school as financially unstable. So it's just part of the necessity.
That was what you have done, and you have realized that there's a successful combination between business discipline and another world that has other goals, values than just business. Back to your offer that you are doing. You say it's a free-to-use, peer-to-peer online platform designed as a social network for incubating and launching socially conscious ventures.
Yeah.
Not so easy to understand for us. What is it? What is the core? What is the basics of this idea?
Okay.
What you offer?
So when I was developing my Rudolf Steiner school, I was raising money, going to all the institutions, looking for the typical handout, and going to all the parents as investors, showing them the financial feasibility of it. And along the way, I had met a guy who, after the Katrina disaster, went to donate money to Katrina and realized it's just going to be a donation by the press of the button on the internet that goes to Green Cross or Red Cross, somewhere anonymous.
Was that huge hurricane that destroyed New Orleans.
Yeah, so he realized instantly that the technology is available today to connect people easily, like MySpace, Facebook, and everything else, but he can't connect with any of the people that just suffered this disaster in Louisiana, and he thought that's just crazy that there's all these people in the whole world that need help, and there's an awful lot of people just like him that want to give help, but you can't. You just can't. So he dedicated himself and his resources to developing this internet-based platform that's just a very simple thing. You put what you have a need for, and you can search, what you can help with. And then, the technology helps connect the two people. You can connect and you can read the blurb on each other and just help people help each other just by virtue of the technology that's available today. And there's a paradigm shift of people wanting to help people, so there's support for it. So he said, I'm putting your Waldorf school in the front of this thing because people would probably love to help support the development of your Waldorf schools. It's a very socially conscious venture. So after my Waldorf school was developed, I went back to him and said, I want to get involved with ChangeTheWorld.com. What's happening with it? And he said, it fizzled. Nothing happened. I said, let me tell you why I think it is. You're trying to run this as a nonprofit venture, simply raising money to give away. There's a way to make this a for-profit venture, because there's crowdfunding, there's microfinance, there's equity participations, there's all these little ways for you to generate revenue if you provide a valuable service, and there's an incredibly valuable service, obviously, but you need to articulate it more clearly in a disciplined business plan so you can show people that it actually will serve a purpose here. So A, it can either serve a purpose that it can possibly make money, or it just needs to serve a purpose that it really will help people. But you've done neither because you have no business sense, and you don't know how to, you just have not presented this. And because he gave me all his information that he presented to people. I'm like, you need some business discipline to go do the research and go do the analysis and go do some projections. You need, it's just simple as that. So that's how I got involved with him and put together a business plan, and now we're working with universities in Southern California for business students that are in business school that present their business plans every year, but then go nowhere because they really don't have anybody to connect with and receive mentorship or capital funding or anything else. And so this platform is a platform that, right now is being used for business students to put their business plans on. Universities can use it to connect with alumni and friends of alumni for people that want to provide mentorship or capital to those students, so the students can, go further to fulfill their goals. And then, of course, so many of the other universities in America now have departments dedicated to entrepreneurship, where they incubate these businesses with a very well-defined and developed curriculum dedicated to that. So there's a real core of the faculty is involved with the students, that's involved with local business, and it's the new ideas of progressive students are being nurtured by the business people, and all pulled together by universities.
So I understand you want to connect social business, social entrepreneurship-minded students with people who have funds, who are willing to be mentors, who are willing to donate money to these students so that they can set up their social business.
Right. Right, that serves a social purpose.
It has two ideas behind. That is, first, there are students who are providing ideas, and there are sponsors who are providing funds and mentorship. I'm not so sure whether both is presently available in Berlin. Are you sure you have both these groups?
Well, so Berlin is a very unique situation, because I grew up in America where everybody is just inherently raised. You can work hard, you can go do whatever you want. It's just we are inherently capitalist entrepreneurs. Or I don't know. But that's just how we are in America. So I come to Berlin. I've been visiting here for 7 years. My wife's mother's from Hamburg, and her brother lives here, and I absolutely fell in love with this culturally rich, vibrant, awesome, cool, progressive city. But it's completely upside down, in the deficit, high unemployment. There's all these things that I just go, what is going on? So then I just think, this city cannot continue to go on in a deficit like this. It's unsustainable to me. Okay, now, so some of you go, who is this guy? Send him back to America. But I just feel like there's just a weird sense that so many people I talk to are just like, oh no, Bill, it's how it is. That's part of the appeal of it, and it's going to stay that way. And I go, that is part of the appeal. I appreciate that. But God, it'd be great if my daughter and granddaughter could enjoy it as well 50 years from now, because I don't believe it's sustainable to continue on this way. I think there's got to be more of a grasp of a sense of entrepreneurship that helps people develop a personal sense of financial sustainability. We just have that inherently. It's different. There's just a whole different culture and history, that's different than the 200 years of different mentality we've had. But it's changing, and I meet so many people that are so energetic, and probably everybody in this room is, feels the same entrepreneurial push towards things, and I really believe it's there. So it's no coincidence I bump into you. It's a real fluke I met you, but that's just how we find each other, and we go make these things happen. I know there's, you could take the Fortune 500 of the corporations that are operating in Berlin, and they all have a vested interest in the culture becoming more capitalistic and more